our bodies. There are chemical misfirings or whatever in our brains that can influence our moods. I understand we can use all the tools to divert, etc. And there is some reality of chemistry in our bodies. To wake up feeling like crap, for example, and have to have the pep talk.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a beautiful question. And that is why we need to study again and again until the knowledge is settled in our mind and we get out of the delusion. Having said that, now understand what we are learning. What I say, the Eastern wisdom, and the Eastern wisdom separates the real self from the non self first. And that real self cannot be affected, influenced, dictated by any chemical, any hormone, anything in the from outside. That is the second point. So once I understand that there is an entity within all of us, which we say real self, it is the pure consciousness that is beyond the impact of any chemical, any brain, any thought in the mind. Now comes your question that it is a reality that the hormone, it is the reality that the hormone influences us. So, who we are we the real self or are we the brain? We are not the brain. We are not the chemicals. This is the third point. Now comes the fourth point, which is the essence of the Eastern wisdom. What is that essence? Until we evolve and awaken to real self, the brain is using the consciousness under limitations. Then your statement is true. As long as the brain is using the consciousness, then we definitely will be influenced and dictated by hormonal imbalance or balance. Right? Now, what happens when we learn and study Eastern wisdom? We reach to a state where consciousness is using the brain. Consciousness is using the brain. When the consciousness is using the brain all the time, you need not to worry about these things. So, what happens? Consciousness is all knowing and it is using the brain. It will take care of itself. Until then, your statement is true. After that, your statement breaks away and melts away. Now, the fifth point, what we are looking for. The Eastern wisdom says we are looking for discovery of the real self. So, when I discover my real nature, that is our goal. That is our goal. So, once you discover your real nature, these things become secondary in your life. It appears the same way. Today, this hormone is good, tomorrow, that hormone is bad. Today is a good morning, and tomorrow is a bad morning. I brought you to the same thing. So, you see that what we are where we started the journey. We started the journey in Yoga Sutra. You see that Yoga Sutra has 195 principles, 195 sutra. Huh? And there is a very small little book, Sadhana Panchakam, that we did last year. So it contains only 40 steps. Right? Then why to study the different text? That question may come. So understand that why. And there is a second point. Leslie, I will expand your question. In a way that I'm doing all this, I'm attending the lessons, I'm doing all the practices, still I am suffering. And those who are not doing any practice, they are also suffering. See that I'm going against my own profession. Why the hell we should study? Those who are not doing, they are also suffering. And those who are doing, they are also suffering. So few people return like a peacock. So what is the reason? The reason is that I have not assimilated the knowledge very well. So when I have not assimilated the knowledge very well, then what should I do? I should continue to study and practice. Are you clear? Why I have not assimilated the knowledge? One day I say, oh, I have reached to the peak. And then other day, it is a bad morning, as usual. So it means I have not assimilated the knowledge clearly. Why I have not assimilated the knowledge? We are not going to blind belief. Everything is very much logical, rational in the journey of the Eastern. Answer your question. Why I have not assimilated the entire knowledge? Now see the other scenario. I have assimilated the entire knowledge. Then I am the highest level of a seeker. I live, work, think, and speak in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Take it, it is an awakening. That is one situation. And the other situation is I have not assimilated the knowledge. But answer why? It is because of hormone? It is because of vegan diet or non-vegan diet, etc., etc. No. Something is left in my mind, what we say the defects in the mind, the impurities in the mind, the ignorance in the mind. It is still there. That is why it is not working. What should I do? Next question, answer. I should continue to study, gain the knowledge, continue to the practice until this knowledge is settled perfectly and 100%. So when it is settled 100%, then what happens? You are there. You know. It is not the thought bad or good morning. Again, Leslie, I'm again using the same word. Not for you, but for everyone. Now, this mind does not perceive outer conditions are responsible for my misery. It is only the mind. That is the first answer. And the second answer, the knowledge to settle in the intellect takes time. Takes time. That is why we have kindergarten, primary, middle, high school, bachelor's, master's, PhD, MS, and MD. Knowledge takes time. Just by birth, can you enroll into PhD? You see, knowledge takes time to settle. So many of you have been continuing the journey, but to make this understand, my mind should be calm and relaxed to understand this principle. Otherwise, you do not enough. I'm also suffering. You are also doing yoga and meditation, and you are also suffering. What is the difference? So when we take it at a surface level, it will not work. So we have understood in the beginning that what exactly is this Eastern wisdom or yoga to settle into the highest state of meditation. Then we understood what exactly is the cause of suffering. Huh? If you recall, there are 5 groups of thought pattern, objective states of the mind, and there are 5 subjective states of the mind. Then we came down, we said, okay, we have understood. So then what is the next question? What is the practice? Then we have understood what exactly is the practice. So I always say regular practice with wisdom, with the knowledge inside in the intellect is there that continues to seek the real self, and searching becomes the practice. So there are 2 parts of the practice. Actual bravo, whether you're breathing long and deep, saying om, that is a practice. But do you keep your knowledge of the self in the intellect? If you don't keep the knowledge of the self in the intellect, in the field of awareness, then another problem comes. I've been doing the practice for the last 10 years, nothing happened. Nothing will happen. Why should anything happen? Why should anything happen? You're doing it habitually, instinctively. Knowledge is not there settled in the intellect. Why should it happen? It should not happen. Who is saying? I'm not saying. I don't know anything. Patanjali is saying this. Understand the knowledge. So that is why the teacher gossips again and again and again and again. That is why in the beginning I gossip before the practice. But it's a good gossip. It is directed to a particular goal. And once we understood, then Patanjali said, the 4 stages of meditation, and then the final stage of meditation, where we enter into the total emptiness state of the mind. And when we have an emptiness, the knowledge of the reality, knowledge of the real self reveals. This is what Leslie I was saying. That consciousness is now using the brain. You are done with everything. So we have done it. And after that, we understood what we have understood in the next few sutras. We have understood that where we are heading to. And in the last week, we understood Om is the designator of the real self, the name. Like your name is Leslie, David, so same way the real self. But the way I know David, say for example, so I know by the attributes of the David. I do not link David to someone else except Jerry. See, this is the knowledge. So do I keep that knowledge of the Om in the mind? And I do the practice continuously, regularly, without break. What happens? I reach to the highest state. Clear? I summarized all the sutras. Then the last week we considered that if we regularly practice with wisdom, then all the obstacles are removed even by Om meditation. Whether you say, Lara, Om 3 meditation or Om meditation. So normally we have 3 steps. So you see that? So on meditation. So now Patanjali is very clever, very intelligent. So now he is asking that why you don't succeed. There are 9 obstacles. He did not talk in the very beginning. If he talked in the beginning, then you will say, who will do this practice? Let me take a drink, relax, and sleep. Finished. You see the journey, the way you understand, the greater, the deeper the understanding, knowledge takes time to settle. So what he says, I will just name and then we will go one by one. Vyadhi styan. Vyadhi means disorder in the body level. That is why we cannot become steady. But why we cannot become steady? While practicing meditation, we will take in detail. Another word that he says, the second obstacle is styan. Styan means dullness. I have a private guidance. I coach her. She is in Phoenix, so she was laughing and she told me last week, you see that when I woke up in the morning at 5, my mind said, no, I don't want to join today. So let me send you an email to you not to join. But the next moment I said, I have to progress. You see, the knowledge settles, takes time. And then she joined. And before that, she was telling me that for the last 3 weeks, my mind says, no, 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 no. I don't want to join today. I'm not feeling well. Dullness, problem. I'm just pointing, and then we will go in detail. Third is sansaya. Sansaya means doubt. Do you doubt me? Doubt me? Nothing will happen. If you have doubt about the knowledge, remove that doubt. That is more important. And the beauty of the masters is that, do you remember I talked in a couple of times what exactly means the doubt? The doubt for anything in the world means the knowledge is sleeping. Simply remember, I have a doubt. I have a doubt about Kate. No, knowledge is sleeping. Let me remove that doubt. Let me get more knowledge. And that your own mind makes fun of you. What the hell you are making a doubt? There is nothing to doubt. Now I have a right knowledge. So here the knowledge about the journey, about the real self. And the next one is known as pramada. Vyadhi, styan, sanshaya, pramada. Pramada means carelessness, negligence. I am sure where the mind knows the money is coming, you are never careless. Do you see that? Daniel is loud. But where the question of knowing my real self comes, I become negligent. And I have heard you, weird guy. When I'm suffering, you might also be suffering. You see, the doubt has come first, and the second, because you are also suffering, hence let me also become careless. Careless about you? No, careless about yourself. So you see that the series of these obstacles prevents you to succeed in meditation. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 I have taken. Then the fifth one is alasya. Alasya means laziness, indolence, sloth. John was saying, can I point you out? If you don't want me to point you out, he admitted that, I went into sleep. So we have to understand why the sleep comes and how to get rid of it. Avirati. Next one is avirati, overindulgence. Or you can say clinging to the things. Okay, close my eyes. I say close your eyes, and the mind is still enjoying the pasta that I had eaten yesterday. Just an example. See, we have to go very deep. Why we have to go very deep? To understand each and every aspect. Oh, these are the challenges. That is an obstacle. That is why I do not succeed. Include hormone also. Avirati is that over. Then there comes the Bhranti. Bhranti means delusion. Delusion. I say pay attention to the breath, and you associate breath with some kind of pleasure outside. Come on. This is the nature of the mind. I'm pointing out so that you can work on your mind and it is happening. It is happening. Bhranti, delusion, there are hundreds of delusions. Then another problem comes, non-attainment of results in meditation. I don't get the result. I practice. But so what happens when you don't get the result? You start comparing yourself with others. That is also a great obstacle. See that? Now, the ninth one is, I have covered all the nine? No. I have covered, I think, the ninth one is known as Darshan Alabdha Bhumika. It is very wonderful way the Patanjali has put it. So let me translate into English that just see that you are already into that state of meditation, but you don't recognize it. You are in your home, 2 pack, 3 pack, 4 pack. It depends on capacity. And now you are intoxicated. And you say me, take me to my home. You are already in your home. Do you see that? Did you understand that? That is the last obstacle. No. You are at your home. You are intoxicated. You are drunk. And you say to me that, why don't you take me to my home? You are already in your home. But you don't recognize it. You don't realize because you are intoxicated. Same way the mind is intoxicated with lot of thoughts and ideas, etc., etc., etc. I think I covered all anavasthita. And there is ninth one, I think, chitta vikshepa, darshan alabdha bhumika. And vikshepa is normal. Vikshepa means distraction, inattention, confusion. So these are the 9 obstacles that prevents you to succeed in meditation. To realize and recognize the journey of the Eastern wisdom. So we will take a one and one after the other, the way the Vyasa has given the commentary on these So now comes the fundamental problem, and then we will start our journey. If I feel I am ignorant, ignorant means I have an incomplete knowledge. What is the solution? Satsang. This is satsang. This kind of a gossip is satsang. You are listening and learning again and again and again and again, so that incomplete knowledge becomes the complete knowledge. That is known as satsang. Shravanam. The step is shravanam, listening and learning from a crazy teacher. If you have doubt, so where is the doubt? In your mind. What I said, doubt means knowledge is sleeping. Then you have to sit every day, contemplate and reflect on these principles, what you have learned from the teacher. So if you do not contemplate and reflect on these principles, the doubt will continue. And one day you'll say, what a crazy beard guy. He has a big beard. That's why he claims that he knows everything. The doubt is sleeping. No, it has nothing to do with me. I carry that tradition. So contemplation and reflection. What will happen? The intellect will settle in discernment and dispassion. Now the intellect says, I know I have yet to achieve it, but I know what it is. And if you have a false knowledge in the mind, then practice, 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 practice. Is everything clear now? So we will take up one obstacle, two obstacles in couple of sessions in the future, and we will understand. So understand, there is no doubt. So what will happen? The moment I sit, I make my position and I sit. So I know that I can sit for about 3 to 4 hours. No issue at all. No issue. Provided if I sit in Padmasana, the lotus pose. Because the intellect is constantly removing those obstacles inside and keeps you in there. So I'm repeating again and then we will start. What is that? First thing, if I'm ignorant, ignorant does not mean that you are not intelligent. I'm not saying that. Master is saying ignorant means incomplete knowledge. The mind, is there a real self? No. Mind objects to it, reacts to it. Then I must listen to the teacher again and again and again and again and again and again. Why? So that he gives a different perspective, cross referencing, and it goes into your head. If I have doubt, what should I do? Do I have a little 5 minutes, 10 minutes time to contemplate and reflect? Doubt will be removed. It is a universal principle by more than 3,000 teachers. They realize that this is what it is. And then the last one, last one, what I said? Last one, what I said. So, what I said, if I have false knowledge in the mind, then I should practice, practice, and practice, 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 practice. So, let us go for practice.